Welcome to another edition of Infrared Sauna Expert, your source for saunas, detox, and health improvement devices. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can hear the insider's question of the week, and hit the like button on this video so we know you want to see more helpful tips. As always, resources and show notes can be found on infraredsaunaexpert.com. Or if you're looking for the approved list of sauna brands, CertifiedSaunas.com has all the updated info. Let's jump into today's episode with your go-to infrared sauna expert, Matt Justice.
What is going on, guys? Getting set up here. Chet says, I finally got my backrest. How do you like them, Chet? That's good. Sorry it took so long. I know they're really back ordered. I don't even have mine, by the way. How's everybody doing? Doing a live stream tonight. If you want to call in and ask a question, the 800 number is in the video title, the live chat, and the description. If you're on a mobile phone, you can click to expand the description and just click to call. It should dial automatically. If you do have a question, you can pretty much call in at any time. If I'm on the line with someone else, there's no hold room, so just call back as soon as we hang up. We do have a theme for tonight. One of the themes that many people ask about is why they have a hard time sweating in an infrared sauna, or when they're doing a detox protocol, they have a really difficult time getting their body acclimated to heat therapy and increasing their heat tolerance and so on and so forth. This is pertinent to me lately because I've been working in an attic doing some framing, and I did a sauna session for a personal one last night, no videos or anything. But I hopped in my sauna last night, and what a difference after working for a week and a half in 90-degree weather in an attic in Florida. The ease of sweat, the difference in performance, the difference in the way the sauna. Hi, TC, how are you? Chet, if you're still here, let me know how you like the backrest. I'm not sure if you were here when I first hopped on or not, but curious how you like them. Anyway, I've noticed a huge difference, and I can kind of relate in a different way for all the people that send emails and things like that and say they have a hard time sweating, or they can't get used to it, or they just puff up and get red, or they only have like a surface sweat, or nothing happens and they just kind of get really hot. And one of the things that stands out is, when you're not sweating all the time, there's an acclimation period. So there's a time frame for your body to get used to this stuff and improve its own performance and ability to discharge. And I think a lot of people, have this belief that the sauna should just make all this stuff do it for them as soon as they get it. But we kind of forget that there's still this overarching phase that you have to go through where your body acclimates, you increase your heat tolerance slowly, and then over time, you just basically sweat on command, and it's pretty much effortless. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to take your questions. There's been a lot of people that have emailed in the last week or so, and I have not been able to get to them. People have questions about particular sauna brands, sauna orders, because a lot of sauna companies are behind. There's also been some complaints about some of the clear light saunas, which was interesting. Kind of coincides with another clear light event. So if anybody has questions on ordering a clear light sauna, definitely call in and ask, because there's been some changes with that, and there will likely be a lot more changes coming for that particular brand. CC, hi, how are you? I think I already said hi, sorry. So that said, let's go ahead and get into it. If you're just hopping on, if you have a question, 800 number is in the description. If you want to call in, ask a question live, go for it. If I'm on the phone with somebody else and it just kind of puts you on hold, there's not a holding room, so you'll have to call back when we hang up. What's up, Truth Provider? How are you? Chet, good to see you. How's everybody doing? There might be a delay in the live chat. So anyway, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this theme where people have a hard time sweating in saunas. And the first trick came from Randy Gom, the owner of Radiant Health Saunas, and that is, most people have heard it by now. But if you really have a hard time sweating, or you have somebody that's ill and you're trying to improve performance in the sauna and really get that process going, the easiest thing to do is set up a foot bath, or not a foot bath, but basically like a foot pan, put hot water in it, sit in a chair for 5 minutes while the sauna is preheating. And that basically tells your nervous system, okay, it's go time. We are going to preheat the body. And then when you get in the sauna, you're kind of already used to, being on the verge, not sweating, but being on the verge of having that response. And so that's the number one thing that can be really helpful if you're a person that has a hard time sweating in saunas, or you don't, if you don't perspire at all. How long did it take you to get the backrest from Radiant? It took a little while. They're on back order, guys. I have been hard at work with framing and woodwork. Yes, had to work on a rental this week, so that's been interesting. It's been an interesting challenge to try to keep up with regular work. I can do it physically, but mentally, my head is just not. I don't know, just not in it. It's not my normal schedule. It's not my normal flow. It's hard to make non-live videos and stuff where there's no interaction because I'm not in the mindset or the mind frame that I usually get in to do that. It's been weird. What was that? That was a very weird noise. Hot shower before sauna. Also, Truth Provider is saying dry brushing. Yes, all these things. I knew you guys would have. If anybody is going to hold me to the fire, we know who it's going to be. The other thing that I've never done that I promised to do is talk about the vibration plate. So the vibration plate, basically, a lot of people use a rebounder, right? And it's basically a mini trampoline. You jump on it, and it kind of gets the lymphatics going. It gets everything going, really. It increases circulation. Same thing with the vibration plate, but you can use a particular frequency if your body happens to like a certain frequency, like mine. I like the low 30s, I think 31, 32, 33, which is really interesting. Vibration plate is better than the vibrating bed in a sleazy motel. Yeah. Well, a lot of people put, what is that thing? A lot of people put a foam roller on top of it. You really threw me off with that one. That was good. A lot of people put a foam roller on top of the vibration plate and then sort of do various stretches. You can stretch out your hips like that, your legs, your back, all that kind of stuff. But you threw me for a loop there. But so if anybody has any questions about this, because this is probably going to be, we'll take a snippet from this live and then make an actual video, and then I can, kind of set up some recommendations for those folks that are having difficulty sweating or getting used to heat therapy and things like that. If anybody has any direct questions, you're free to call in at any time and we can go over them. Aside from that, it seems like a familiar number. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, this is Sauna calling back. Sorry, I emailed you and tried calling you as well.
Okay. Are you calling into the live show or are you just calling in general?
I'm calling in general for questions regarding detox.
Okay. Well, we're doing a live show right now. I'm happy to help you, but this is on the air. So if it's not something that you want to be public, I could help you at a different time.
Okay. What would be a better time to call back?
Tomorrow between 9 to 5 Eastern.
9 to 5 Eastern. Okay, will do. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome.
Bye.
Thought that was one of you guys. What's going on here? You guys messing with me somehow? I never know if someone's calling exactly from the show or from Chet's like, hey, we're going to get my great aunt to call in and give you guys a hard time. All right. Does anybody from the audience have any live call-in questions? Maybe I should make people announce it in the chat before they call in. We need Chris to call. Yeah, we need Chris to call wearing the horse head and do a FaceTime video chat. That's exactly what we need. you guys are funny. Truth Provider has no questions. All right. I don't know why this isn't working. So what's shaking with everyone? What you guys have any updates this week? How is your world? What's going on with you? Any improvements from the last time you checked in? Anything to share? You and me both, Chet. You and me both. Hello?
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
My name is Aisha. So I was watching your videos and I saw you were checking the radiant sauna. It was the cheapest one, gray one. You were checking the EMF levels on that one. It was too high. And then you said you wouldn't cook yourself, so you would never get into that sauna. Actually, I own that sauna. So as soon as I saw it, I ordered Durasage. They promised they have EMF levels less than 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I got that one. So I got the device you suggested, EMF device. So I checked it. It was over 90.
Yeah.
But they promised, it was supposed to be less than 3. So I sent it back, and then I was checking your videos. I cannot watch all of them, right? And then you were in one of them. You were in that for an hour, 30 was 30. So how did you decide to get back to on it? So I didn't throw it out. I still have it, but I don't have any other sauna, so I can only get portable.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very small apartment. So can you just explain me what changed your mind?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean when you say change my mind. Are you sure they were the exact 2 saunas? Because
No. You said you checked the EMF level on that gray one, the cheap one, right? And then you said you would never get into that sauna because you wouldn't cook yourself. And then you got into that sauna 34:30 in an hour, like whole hour. So what changed your? So why did you get into that one? Even though it has so very high levels of EMF. So would it be okay to get into that sauna?
Sure. I mean, it just comes
What do you
down.
think?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to what's important to you. You don't have to use a low EMF sauna if you don't want to. If that type of environment is important to you, then it's probably not conducive to do that. But I think there's a little discrepancy in what you're saying. I think because I haven't produced any videos, or I'm sorry, I haven't released any videos that we've been producing on the EMF levels of this new batch of portable saunas. The only ones that I have from that sauna are from 2 or 3 years ago. So I think there's a slight difference in like they've changed them since then. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. They're definitely not as advertised. So you want to know why I would use one that has high EMF for the 30 for 30?
Yeah. So you were very scared for the first video, and then you were just very comfortable. So what changed your mind? So did you read something about EMS? You thought, everything, you can change your mind every day. The more you learn, the more, it can happen. So
not every day.
Any reason?
Not every day. You got to look at the date that the video was published. I think the video you're talking about was published in 2017 or 2018, most likely.
Yeah, pretty old one, yeah.
Yeah, and then the 30 for 30 would have been like 4 or 5, 6 months ago, maybe 7 or 8 months ago.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. In that order.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing is just because it's something that I wouldn't use long term doesn't mean that I won't use it short term or that I won't test them. Right. So one of the ways, the only way that you can really vet this stuff is to use it a little bit. So even the bad ones, I will use them as long as there's not like some type of adhesive or like this thing. Well, you can't see it, but there's a A portable sauna behind me that has really, really high VOCs. I'm not a person that gets headaches. I don't have any issues with VOCs normally, even if I can detect them. I just know that they're bad for my lungs long term, so I wouldn't buy something like that to use for the next 10 or 15 years. An example of something that I wouldn't use even to test would be like that, where you get in it and within 15 minutes you have a headache, right? For the EMF stuff, I mean, it's not really an issue for me to use a high EMF sauna for, a week or something and then get rid of it. But it's not something that I would buy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, because I miss it so much. I used to use it like at least four or five times a week, and I really, really enjoyed it a lot. So when I purchased it, like it was 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was the good one. But right now it's horrible. I mean, compared to other ones, and then when I compared with Durasage to that one, it was exactly the same amount of sweat. There was no difference. I mean, and I'm a small person, so Durasage was too big for me. Because when I get into that small sauna from Amazon, I can type, I can watch videos and everything. It's just very comfortable for me. And then because it's small, I sweat more than Durasage. So I really, really liked it. Now I'm looking for other options, but it's just, I don't know. So I bought the, what was his name? He just wrote a book about EMF. Dr. Michael. Yeah.
Mercola.
So I started reading that book and it sounds really, really scary. So I'm trying to figure out what to do, eventually everyone is going to cook under 5G. So there's no escape. I mean, the small sauna is not going to, damage you more than 5G. It seems like what he thinks. So, yeah, I just wanted to ask your opinion about this one. So,
I'm not 100% sure.
Thank you so much for the video.
Okay. When you said gray, I thought you were talking about the Synergy and then a couple of other ones. You're talking about the I think it's like either a Serene Life or a Rejuvenator from Amazon. What do you know what the name or the model of it is?
The name of it was exactly Radiant. It was Radiant.
Okay, it's the really small one. It doesn't have a zip out neck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Let me send you the link for this one.
I think it's
here.
I have it right here. It's a Heatwave BSA 6310. It's they're all kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if this makes you feel good and you like it, I mean, I would keep using it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I would just keep using it. That sauna doesn't have super good build quality. I mean, it's not going to last forever anyway. The next time you buy one, just get something that's a little better.
Yeah, that's the problem actually. So I don't know what to buy next because the options are not many. There's another one for $1,500. Instead of getting that one, I would get the one in the better one, like the wood one, maybe. Instead of paying $1,500, I would pay maybe $2,500. So what's the point for the?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah, I'll decide eventually.
Yeah, sub $1,000, it makes sense to get a portable, but anything over $1,000, $1,200, I mean, you could just spend a little bit more and get a wooden one.
Exactly. I would wait a couple of more months and then get the big one. So I was trying to get something around 500. So it seems like everything is same. Even if they promise you they have lower level EMF.
Nope. I wouldn't.
They're actually not.
Yeah. I wouldn't waste your money.
I don't trust that.
I wouldn't waste your money. If you're looking to get a $500 one, it's not going to do anything that the one you have now doesn't do. I would just keep using what you have for the time being and then spring for either, $1,000 one or just step to a wooden one if you have the space.
Yeah, I'll do that probably. So, okay. Thank you so much for your opinion and or your videos and everything. I really enjoy watching them.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, Truth Provider has an idea for you in the live chat. He's suggesting you take a look at the DIY sauna. I didn't even think of that. That is another option, but I think what you have will work fine. I would continue to use it.
So I'm a single girl. We can't do anything. DIY is a big project. I don't think I can manage that. But thank you so much for the suggestion.
I understand. Well, thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Bye bye now.
Bye-bye.
You too.
John, no, we can take questions through the chat, but I mean, the whole reason to do the live stream is to, make it a little bit more in depth. If you have a simple question in the chat, I can comment on it, but it's difficult for me to go back and forth. You'd be better off to call in if it's something that's long. Truth Provider, I have a PDF article from some years ago, Dan Root on the 9/11 firefighters detoxing with saunas. Email you. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like, well, there's a bunch of stuff with Dr. Yu on that too. I think it's the same thing, actually. I think Dan's dad and Dr. Root were part of a, I can't remember. He could tell you about it. You guys probably know better than I do. What's going on, Ilya? How are you? Black towel of metals he sweated out. I've seen the famous picture where there's like a white towel and there's streaks all over it and stuff like that, if that's what you're talking about. Thank you. Yeah, definitely email it. I'll take a look at it. Let's see. Good idea for the DIY. I think she's all set though with the portable. She sounds like she is a smaller framed female, so it might actually be quicker and easier for her to use what she has for the time being and then save up for something else. Yeah, I've seen the picture. I can't share pictures on this particular software, but in the next live, I'll be able to put up pictures so everyone else can see what we're talking about. If anybody has a question, go ahead and call in. The 800 number is in the description. You just click expand. It's also in the title, also in the live chat. It doesn't sound like she was EMF sensitive at all. I think, some of the fear mongering, even I guess, get wrapped up in that, where I'm a proponent of fear marketing or fear mongering toward having low EMF stuff. But there's a huge difference between using something for an hour or for a week or for a month and then using something for 20 years. So when I say I wouldn't buy something, I'm thinking I'm going to buy this thing, and then I'm thinking out into the future. Okay, this probably isn't something that I really want in my house, because if it's there and I get used to it, I'll probably just forget about that. And then, who knows? Who knows if it'll be like holding a cell phone to our heads in 25 years from now. But there is the thing that really bothers me is some of the saunas with higher magnetic fields, because there's documented research showing what magnetic fields, especially in your home, can do. The unfortunate thing is a lot of people have ambient levels of magnetic fields in their homes from power supplies, even cable lines, fiber optics, power lines, all kinds of stuff that emit a magnetic field around them. And then it kind of reaches into your house through the walls. It's not even something that is in your environment. But Truth Fighter says, did you, out of curiosity, test your smartphone with EMF meters? I had a Google Pixel phone, reacted to it bad. Yes, I have. Hang on just a second. Hello?
Hi, Matt.
Yes.
Oh, hi. I was kind of had a question.
Sure. What's your name?
I'm Carmel.
Hi, Carmel.
And hi, I kind of nervous. My question is, I don't know if this is a down question or not, but I've been watching your videos and you're very insightful. So I really appreciate all the information that you put out. I was wondering if you have a infrared sauna, and so that pushed out the heat, right? And if you can you bring in water? Could you bring in like a bucket of water to bring in the humidity? Will it mess things up if you wanted to in an infrared sauna? Yeah.
Yeah, it would mess things up, but it's also not going to work.
Okay.
The way an infrared sauna heats you up really isn't from superheating the air temperature in the cabin. And so the only way that you're going to get steam or moisture is if the cabin is over, I don't know, 180 degrees or so, and have some type of heating element where you can cast the water on it to evaporate it and make steam. None of the infrared heaters are set up in a way to do that. And it would most likely ruin the sauna if you tried it. If so, is that just some? What's that?
I'm glad I called in, and it's because like that's when I'm looking at different videos. I see this, like something has a theme, like a Swedish style, or just different styles, whether it's a steam room or like a infrared heated room, and then you see something where people build like a DIY, and then they're having stones with water, and so it's like what would be something in the middle that I mean.
Most likely, if that's what you want, most likely a hybrid sauna might work for you. The thing with most of the hybrid saunas, and the reason that I don't have one, is that the majority of them, you can't run the infrared and the steam on the same day. You either choose infrared or steam. If there's a company out there that you find that lets you run both in parallel at the same time, let me know, because I would like to order one. So let me ask you a question. What do you just like the steam? Do you want to incorporate like some
well, I like when I was listening to you, I don't know which video it was, and I think you were saying that like if people may like the steam only maybe if, I don't know if it was if they have asthma, and so my husband has asthma.
Okay.
And I would like for him to enjoy it as well. So I heard on one of the videos that it was more comfortable for someone that has, the steam, like a room, the steam, instead of it being drier in the sense that the air is drier. And me, I would prefer the infrared. I would prefer it to be dry, to sweat. So that's why I was trying to find something in the middle. So maybe that was just in my head. So I was trying to find a combination so that my husband would be able to enjoy it as well.
Okay.
So,
first question is, have both of you used infrared sauna before?
I have.
You have, but he hasn't.
Right.
Okay.
I've used both, like at a gym and at a spa.
Yeah, the other thing that's helpful for people with breathing issues, emphysema, asthma, all types of stuff, is actually the opposite. Is to use an infrared sauna, because you can still sweat and use it at a really low temperature, so you don't get that like catching your breath response. In the dry saunas that are really, really hot without moisture, that's usually what's happening, because it's so dry and it's so hot. When it hits your lungs, it's kind of like a shock. And it kind of gives you, or I shouldn't say gives you, it gives a person that struggles with breathing difficulties or asthma or something like that, that out of breath feeling. One of the things that I would recommend, especially if you're both wanting to use it, is if you're in a populated area or a decent sized city, you can go to a health spa and just pay like $35 to rent an infrared sauna session. I mean, it might be beneficial to put him in that one time and see if he likes it.
Okay.
If that's something that you think he would do.
Thank you for that. Awesome. I'm glad that I seen that your live show was on. It happened to look, and I was like, oh, awesome. I was just, I wanted to just type the question because I didn't want to sound so dumb,
Oh,
it's just better to call. So I was like, all right.
It's much better to call, because then I can ask you.
More questions.
Yeah. But that would be my suggestion, is see if there's a place that you can rent a session and then have him try it and see if that's a good fit. And I think you'd be surprised. You really don't need the moisture in an infrared. You really need the moisture in a dry electric or a traditional sauna. But the only way to know for sure is to give it a shot.
Right. I really love the corner sauna that you have on the videos on it, and you shared a couple of different videos on it, where it says the 3, but it's really comfortable for 2, like that one that you showed.
Very.
That was really nice. I like that. That would fit in our first room really good, because it's a little bit smaller room, and we don't do much in that room. Not really. So.
Yeah, that would be a good choice.
I'll take more of your time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in. Have a great evening.
Okay. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. If you guys have questions, here is the 800 number. You can call in at any time. Truth Provider, you were asking about the phones. Absolutely. I've tested the phones like crazy. Just got a Google Pixel phone, reacted to it bad. Got an iPhone, much better. Don't get cedarwood. Actually, I didn't see that. That was a really good suggestion for her when she called in. With the asthma, sometimes certain types of woods or the oils can kind of irritate or be an irritant for people with skin allergies, chemical sensitivities, asthma, things like that. She was already talking about the Radiant Health Corner sauna, which is made out of hemlock. So I think that goes hand in hand with your suggestion. Good idea, though. I didn't even think to mention the wood at the time. But I don't know. Out of curiosity, did you test your smartphone with meters? Google Pixel? Yeah. I've tested all the phones. I've tested every device that is in a home to learn how to use meters better. I mean, it's been a couple of years now, but there's a couple different things. Most of the RF emissions from the smartphones are pretty consistent. I don't know if I have no idea when you say you reacted to it. I don't know exactly what that means, but are you saying only when you were in use, when it was in your hand, when it was at your head? Like, is it a proximity thing? Is it when it's in the room? Because those are different. Some of the smartphones have a decent little magnetic and electric field to them. So if you're touching them or if they're really close to you on your nightstand when you sleep, that can kind of affect people. My skin was tingling when it was at my head. Awful. Okay. It's probably the position of the antennas in relation to the chassis of the phone. I know that's kind of a mouthful, but if you can think there's a screen on one side and then there's usually an aluminum chassis. Not all phones have the antennas in the same place. There's not going to be a huge difference, in my opinion, of the RF output at close range between, a lot of the different phones. But there is a difference on where the antennas are mounted on the phone or in the phone and how that interacts when you're holding it and where that's placing. I know it's kind of a weird description, but I've noticed when you test the phones front to back, there can be a difference depending on what they are. I think it was the antenna placement over my finger. Fingers were feeling warm. Well, the phones themselves get kind of hot too, but I know what you mean. I definitely know what you mean. You're not sleeping with it next to your head though, hopefully, or under your pillow or in your pillowcase. Or was it you that had the vibrating bed joke? You're not using it on vibrate in the mattress, are you? Does anybody else have any live questions? 800 number is open if you want to call in. I'm not sure if I missed anything in the live chat. Let me scroll up here for a second. If you're just hopping on, not sure if you said hello or not, but I can't see you unless you say something in the live chat or call in. John says, I'd take questions. I think I saw that earlier. John, you can put your question in the live chat. Just if it's complicated, call. But maybe I said that earlier. Let's see. You're welcome, Carmel. Turn off the phone and put it in the spare room at night. Yeah, that's plenty adequate. I mean, even across the room, there's a huge difference between 12 feet and right next to you. So even if like, I always use my phone for alarms, especially if I'm going to get up for an early flight. But even, just having it 10 feet away makes a big difference. FYI, my Radiant Health sauna is still working great. Scaled down the sauna sessions as of late. I guess I need motivation. Why do you need motivation? Good to hear that it's still working well. All of my stuff is also working excellent. Trying to get some more. They're just back ordered like crazy. I'm waiting for my mom's sauna to come in, actually. She is getting one person, and I think people will be surprised by the performance of the one person. It's not huge, but there's plenty of room to accommodate just about everybody. Mad Mick, you get a traditional. What'd you get? Is it like an outdoor one, like a barrel, or just a regular dry electric or steam indoor? And what kind of motivation do you need, Truth Provider? I think it was, is it the Rhonda Patrick stuff? Somebody was saying, especially in men, 3 to 5 weekly sauna sessions, 40% reduction in all-cause mortality. I'll say that again if you need motivation. 3 to 5 weekly sauna sessions, 40% reduction in all-cause mortality, especially for men. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's her. Yeah, people have been asking to do the 30 for 30. I can't do it right now. It would have to be, it would absolutely kill me right now. Working in an attic, doing framing. I was framing headers last week. My cousin helped me build some stairs. Man, just totally. What's up, Josh? Good to see you, man. It was Dr. Rhonda Patrick, I'm guessing you're saying? Yeah, because she touts that all over the place. But it's not her study. I got to stop saying that. She's just a proponent of is what in Main Truth Provider, the framing? Live stream daily sauna in attic, Doug says. He was helping me with the stairs and helped me a little bit in the attic too. And it's definitely hot. It's amazing though, the difference. Just after a week up in there, my body is acclimating to the air conditioning to where I'm raising it 2 degrees. And then when I do my sauna sessions like last night, I'm instantly sweating and my body is just performing better in the heat. It's really interesting how it adapts after a while. Same thing that happens after sauna sessions. Like if you've never used a sauna, you buy one, then all of a sudden the framing. No, that's in Orlando, Florida. Here, Truth Provider. It's at a place probably 15 minutes away. It was at a rental. A week before that, I was working on a different unit. There was some turnover there and just doing some build out and some renovations. Wait until we start running and biking. I don't know if I have any gas in the tank for running and biking at the moment. I work there half a day or a little more than half a day, and then I do my regular work. I'm pretty much done. I'm not in a flow state, I can tell you that. Ryan says, trying to decide what sauna to get and understand your general stance is infrared is just as good as better than traditional. Have there been any good studies comparing the two? No. Sorry, Ryan. All the studies are pretty much on traditional. But if you kind of read between the lines, you can kind of see that there are some hush-hush tactics happening when those same, I don't know what you would call them. We'll just use the word scholars at the moment. But when those same people decipher the differences between the two, because there hasn't been an official study performed on infrared saunas, which is kind of like, is there a reason why? Is it going to kill the traditional sauna sales? You have to think of the mechanism of heat delivery, the difference between the two, and then you also have to think of the outcome. So the outcome is much the same. You're increasing core temperature, 1 to whatever degrees. It's different for some people, depends on how hot you use it. But you don't need an infrared sauna to get super hot. And the body can still, even though people say that you can't make heat shock proteins with infrared, the methodology, I think, is broken in that train of thinking, because you're displacing the same amount of core temperature increase. Your body is going through the same motions. You're just not getting the heat shock from superheated air in the cabin, but that doesn't mean that internally you're not going through the same circumstances. So I am obviously biased towards infrared. Doesn't mean that I haven't used and had traditional. The very first saunas that I ever used were traditional saunas and sweat lodge. But maybe I should read on before I keep rambling. But no good studies. You get adjusted to the heat. Ryan says also, what do you say to people that prefer to suffer in the heat of a traditional? You can make an infrared sauna hotter if that's what you're looking to do. Or, if you just like it, just buy one of those. It's really that simple. It, no matter what anyone says, if that's what you really like, definitely buy that. But there are ways to make infrared, hotter if you want to get 160, 165 degrees. Most of the saunas that they say get to 170 that are infrared, they really don't. Saunas are amazing for stress, I've noticed. Yes, Josh, absolutely. I think it's kind of like a meditative experience too. and it's you versus yourself, right? Like if you don't have any health conditions, I mean, I hesitate to say this because most people call in and they have either adrenal issues or some type of fatigue or heavy metals or whatever. But if you don't have any of that stuff, I mean, it's almost like an endurance quest for yourself, and you control your breathing, make sure you're hydrated, figure out how long you can stay in. Truth Provider says, since you live in Florida, it can get quite hot. I'd imagine you'd need to sauna less in the summertime. No, not really. I mean, I've been sweating my ass off for the last week and a half working on this property. But it's not the same experience. I mean, I went in the sauna last night after sweating for 7 hours yesterday, and the sweat that I get from the sauna is just different. The way that it penetrates the layers of the skin, it's not like I'm not doing this low grade activity and the body is sweating to cool me. I am like, that's not the mechanism that is heating my body up. Like, I'm not working. I'm literally sitting there, and it's exciting the water molecules under my skin, and it's heating me up from the inside out. And so the way that your skin releases stuff and the lymphatic fluid exchange that you get from that is different than, exercising or working at a low, grade heart rate all day. I feel great. I love swinging a hammer. I mean, I grew up doing that kind of stuff. I absolutely love working with my hands. Maybe not this much. I like to dabble. It's fun when you can choose to do it. When you have to do it, it's a big project. It's not always the greatest thing, but physically, my body feels great with that much activity during the day. Anyone in the chat uses sauna to enhance endurance training and recovery? Doug has a good question. I think, Doug, I'll have to text it to you later. I think the recommendation for that is post-workout to increase endurance and enhance recovery. But let me look it up. I can't remember if it's on training days. I know it's on training days post-workout, but I don't remember about the recovery days. Carol says, hi, Matt. I have a Cedrus sauna that is not working, and I think the power board is a problem. Would you know and where and how I can repair it? I'm sorry, Carol. I don't. I think the Cedrus sauna company is out of business. Unfortunately, there's probably, if you just Google Cedrus sauna repair or infrared sauna repair company, there should be a couple of companies that come up that sell parts for various models. One of those people may be able to help you, but I would imagine you would have to call and give them the actual model number of your sauna. But other than that, no, I'm sorry. Surviving the 6th, how are you? Good to see you. Sauna boost norepinephrine. If memory serves. I think so. Can't remember. I'm not the sharpest today. You get heat shock proteins from infrared for sure. Right, Josh. But when they look up like the Dr. Rhonda Patrick stuff and a few other people's stuff, if they're comparing infrared to traditional, there's a lot of people that say, oh, well, the only benefit to traditional is that you make heat shock proteins. But I just wanted to point that out because they're not telling you that, hey, your body is making heat shock proteins from overcoming the hyperthermia that you're currently introducing. And that same process is happening in infrared, even though you don't get the shock from, it's kind of like a play on words to me, but you don't get the shock from the superheated air in the traditional. But the mechanism of heat delivery is different between the two. Surviving the 6th, Doug, I think this is for you. I did it post-workout for our marathon training and it helped a lot. Surviving the 6th, would you happen to be able to comment on duration? Like what kind of training were you doing? And then how long of a sauna session were you doing after that? And for how many days or weeks, or like what was the schedule, if you don't mind sharing? I'm curious. And why do you think it helped you a lot? Like, is there a certain reason or part of it that you think made all the difference? Just curious. If I wanted to try it, or if somebody wanted to try it, what would your... Pat says, hi, Matt. I've just discovered the infrared sauna world with some of your videos. Here's my neophyte question. If you have tested the clear light sauna, is the advantage of the full spectrum option relevant? Let me read that again. If you have tested the clear light sauna, is the advantage of the full spectrum option relevant? I don't know what you mean. Is it relevant? Like, is it worth it? I would say no. I would actually say hell no. I have been preaching just get a regular far infrared sauna for couple years now, and I'm hesitant to produce some of the videos that I have made or that I'm shooting when I have time of this 2021 Clear Light Sanctuary that's sitting across from my desk here, because there's a couple things that I really don't like about it. And I think the Clear Light, I don't think it's the Clear Light company. I think it's the individual sales reps selling the Clear Light full spectrum saunas. And I put full spectrum in quotes because I don't think they're being truthful with people. Because when I use that thing, there's definitely a couple things that I don't really jive well with. And it's not something that I would recommend to a friend or family member. Beautiful sauna. Don't get me wrong. The sauna itself is awesome. Has great features, looks amazing, has great lighting, all this stuff, gadgets. It's awesome. It's a premium sauna. It's a pain in the ass to put together. the glass and all that stuff poses some other issues with holding the heat. But yeah, at a later time, I mean, I can go into detail on that. We just got to figure out exactly a little bit more testing, and then I'll release that stuff. But no, I don't recommend that. Truth Provider says, I have friends that are professional athletes. They do use saunas to help them stretch out their muscles before a run. Checking more of this out to enhance endurance. Cool. Surviving the 6th. Did you have any more comments on that? Like, after your training, did you sauna for 30 minutes? Was it an hour? Was it extended, like hour and a half? Some people go in for, oh, here it is. There's a delay in the chat. I got you. Sorry, I don't mean to rush you. The voice is so much faster than the chat. That's why I like it when people call in. If you guys are just hopping on and you have a question, here's the 800 number if you want to call in and chat. Question live. Ran 5 days a week, up to 50 miles a week with 3 20-mile runs. Did yoga 7 days a week, hit training 3 days a week, and weights 3 days a week. Sauna for me helped with muscle soreness. Signed up for 13-1 in December. Oh, you signed me up? Great. Ay. I think you're thinking of JP number 2. Wants to do Ironman. Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you go train or when you show up to swim class or you go to the gym? Tell everybody that you want to do an Ironman. Hello?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Take it, I have to hit pause, eh?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. That's back looping.
Oh, yeah. If the audio is up on your device, it'll pick it up through the microphone.
Yeah, I turned it off, yeah.
That's why I have to wear these headphones. Not my favorite thing.
Awesome. So, sauna for me, when I was training, I did it Monday through Friday in the mornings after my morning run for like 30 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then 7 days a week, I did it for 1 hour a day after training.
Okay.
So I was doing 10 sessions a week.
At what temperature?
That helped. The temperature on the wall was about 180.
Okay.
It was at a gym.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the big full-size saunas, dry sauna.
Cool.
Occasionally it's go up to like 200. I don't know if I trust the thermometer, but
Well, in that range.
yeah. Oh no, it was toasty.
Yeah. So let me ask you, were there weeks that you didn't do the sauna, but you still did the same training? What'd you notice between the two?
Yeah. No, there was times, I think there was a 1 week period where they shut down the whole building for maintenance, and there was a noticeable difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really in the muscle soreness
Mm-hmm.
and the mental part of it. The fatigue was heavier without the sauna. The sleep wasn't as good without the sauna. And the recovery, my workout was lower quality when I wasn't using the sauna. It was noticeable.
Okay.
I'd say like the 5 to 10% range on like distance as far as I could go, and speed. I'd have to slow down.
So you experienced a
for my
performance.
training when I wasn't using.
Oh wow.
What was
Okay.
that?
So there was an actual performance
So
benefit.
yeah, it affected performance and duration. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
totally. Yeah, it's noticeable.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I love sauna.
But you weren't asking about the. There was somebody else asking about the traditional versus infrared. Have you used both for your recovery?
No, I haven't. No,
Okay.
I haven't. I do use red lights now. I have red lamps. Like I have one on me right now.
Mm-hmm. Like this?
But I haven't.
Like
waiting for the delay.
One of these. Oh, is it that far behind?
Oh, I can't see. No, but yeah, I have a regular, I can't remember. It was a Ruby Lux or whatever lamp. I just have it on me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, one of those. No, I just have a Ruby Lux bulb.
Okay. What do you notice from that?
And I sit in that 12 hours a day so to help block the blue light from the computer monitors.
Oh, okay. You notice a difference from that too?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know. It's probably psychosomatic, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. I appreciate the honesty.
I'm afraid it's psychosomatic, but yeah, I feel like I have less headache.
Right. Have you heard of, there's a book called The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton or something like that? Interesting book if you haven't heard of it.
Biology of Belief, huh? So cool.
Yeah, cool. I was just curious. It was it'd be interesting. I'd be really curious on your personal feedback though, if you ever used an infrared to recover from those the training, and what the difference would be for you.
No, yeah, I'm totally looking to get one. I just actually started training again since they started opening up races again. But I'm planning on moving, so I don't want to commit to purchasing one.
Yeah, I totally understand.
But as soon as I move, it's the first thing I'm after. I mean, I have a home gym. I don't want to lug another big piece of equipment around.
Totally understand. Is there a place? I'm not sure where you are, but is there a local place where you could rent?
I'm in Olympia, Washington.
Oh, I'm sure there's a sauna place where you could do like a bunch of sessions.
Yeah, but they're kind of just really too locked down. When I checked them a couple months ago, I'm sure they're probably more open now, but they're like really restrictive.
Yeah, it has been for the last year or so, but things are really starting to open up now. I don't know if maybe in another 30 days or so, you might be surprised.
Yeah, no, and if I do, I'll definitely let the group know, because I know for sure the dry sauna is super helpful for any physical activity at all. Like I said, it really is the mood, the recovery, and the sleep. I mean, it's profound, really.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your experience. It's I feel like a broken record when I share stuff, so I try not to as much. I like to hear from other people, and I'm just curious, see what other people's experiences have been.
Yeah, cool.
So, well, thanks for calling in,
Take it easy, buddy.
You too.
Yep.
Bye.
Yeah, later.
Okay. Anybody has any other questions? It's coming up on an hour now. I'll probably stick around for another 5 or 10 minutes and then go ahead and hop off. 800 number is here. If you want to call in and ask a question or chat. CC says, would you recommend not drink cold water during sauna sessions? I enjoy taking a cold shower that triggers lymphatic circulation after the sauna. I mean, some people say that you shouldn't. Some people say that you do, or that you should. I mean, I would just do, if you're doing something really bad for you, I'm sure your body will let you know. I like sauna sessions with ice in my stuff sometimes. And like when I run out of liquid, or if I get too hot, I'll actually just suck on a piece of ice for a little while just to help cool down. I'm sure there's somebody out there, some scientist or some researcher that would say that that's bad. And then I'm counteracting the hyperthermia, or that I'm doing something counterintuitive or counterproductive to my body because I'm ingesting this really cold liquid while I'm superheating myself from the outside or whatever. But I mean, come on. I would do what you like in that regard. CC told not to drink cold water but room temp. Yeah, many people, Truth Provider, recommend no cold water, but I personally like it. But cold showers, of course, but there's a lot of proponents. There's a lot of doctors even that say you shouldn't drink cold water, like regularly, like with your meals and things like that, only room temperature. But Florida is much more open than where I live in Canada. It's lockdown central here. Really? Okay. Yeah, it feels like back to normal for me here in Florida. Most places aren't requiring masks and things like that. Washington's starting to open up. Surviving the 6. Did cold water shower every 15 to 20 minutes during my sauna. Try to do 3 or 4 reps. Now that's an interesting strategy. I like that a lot. There's that's incorporating hot and cold therapy too. That does a lot. I would be curious to test that against just sauna therapy with no cold shower intervals. And I think the cold shower intervals would actually give you better recovery, better performance based on my own experience. All anecdotal, obviously. Not a doctor, not a scientist. CC says, that's what I heard. Curious about the reason not to. Try to drink room temp water during the session. Some of it's to do with digestion. Some of it's to do with the shock that you're producing inside. There's a lot of people with a lot of crazy ideas on that, but there's also tons of people that drink cold water and don't have any issues. So, I mean, I would kind of just make up your own mind on that one. I don't think, like, no one's going to die because you drink cold water in a sauna, or, like, you know what I mean? Had a Scandinavian dude blast me for drinking cold water in a sauna. Well, that's most likely because you're not manning up, right? That's cooling you down. That's giving you extra headroom against the heat. You're cheating, so to speak. If it's much different when the like the hardcore Europeans that grew up in sauna culture, like, it's a very, it's kind of like not a rite of passage, but man, they take it serious. Or you just drink vodka, room temperature vodka, by the way. Chet says, Matt, have you come up with any ideas for 30 for 30 for 30 2.0? Yeah, I have, Chet. I'm willing to do it. There's been a lot of people that have requested it. I don't know why this gets requested every week, but it certainly does. It's probably the most requested thing that's been consistent over the last few months. I just can't physically do it right now. It's too hard for me to do 30 for 30 every single night. And then I could probably do it at a different time of the day, like the morning, but it's going to be difficult. Most people won't be able to attend at 7 a.m. Eastern or 8 a.m. Eastern, something like that. And I'm also working with my hands doing framing and some woodwork the next couple of weeks. So it'd be really difficult for me to keep up with it. I could try it, but it'd have to be in the morning. Josh says, have you messed with putting a Juve inside your sauna? I have, Josh. I like it. It definitely decreases the lifespan of the lights, though, because the heat sink and the cooling fans that are on the back of the red light therapy device are being just pummeled with, the whole sauna is working against both. They're kind of like apples and oranges. So I really use the red light therapy separate from the sauna. You can put them in the sauna. A lot of people do. Just know that the like, what is it, like 10,000 hours or whatever the lifespan is for the bulbs or the actual PBMT device, the body panel, is going to shrink. You're not going to get the full lifespan out of it. And that thing is going to be working overdrive big time. I also like to be dry and really close, which is hard to do in the sauna. Just the positioning of one, I find that I can't get within 6 inches of it and still sit in the sauna comfortably. That's another reason why I prefer to do it separately, but nothing wrong with doing it together as long as you have a good one. We're not talking about like a full spectrum sauna. That's different. We're just talking about putting a body panel inside your sauna. Surviving the 6 said, I drank cold water after my cold water shower, never drank in the sauna. For a lot of people that are not training for marathons or things like that or have health issues, it's important for you to drink in the sauna. But for somebody who's training, they generally have their hydration schedule and electrolytes down like if I had worn Truth Provider says, if I had worn a Viking hat, maybe the Scandinavian dude wouldn't have looked at me like I was a girly man for drinking cold ice water in the sauna. That's funny. If you guys are here and you weren't on the 30 for 30, he's referencing a Viking sauna hat that we were using just to try to lighten the mood and make things fun for us. I don't have it in here. I'd put it on. Maybe I'll find it and bring it to the next live. What if I constructed my own portable sauna? The Unseen Truth says, using a large wooden box or trunk, which I could lie down in and have an electric steaming unit to pump steam via drilled or jigsawed hole. Be fine. Nothing wrong with that. CC says, right, avoid drinking cold water. My parents from Taiwan told me not to do that. Yeah, there's also some stuff in Chinese medicine and Ayurveda about room temperature water. You might want to look that up if that's what you're looking for. Obviously, I'm breaking the rules, but I like what I like. And it hasn't really presented any issues for me personally. But Truth Fighter, yeah, Matt, you certainly don't want to overdo it by working the day. Sun every night for 30 days could kill you. It won't kill me, but I'll just get really worn out, man. And I won't have the enthusiasm. I'll come on here. Actually, earlier today, I thought about having a beer on a live stream. I haven't had a beer on a live stream ever. But it was just one of those days. It was a long, hot day. I'd been framing the attic, and man, I was like, might be kind of a nice treat. Wesley says, hey, Matt, love the channel. Just installed a new Dundalk barrel. I use both myself and with my patients. I work with a mix of these pro Olympic level as sports med therapist. Awesome. Controlled stress adaptation for overall resiliency is goal. Cool. Hydration was a focus for sure. Go grab the hat. Love the Viking. I don't know where it is. I'll have to find it. So Wesley, do you have any feedback on from your personal experience training those athletes? Like what is the performance benefit that they experienced on, week off with incorporating the sauna and not having it? Or is there other, like, did you notice anything psychologically with their performance? Is it mostly just muscle recovery? Is there, yeah, Doug's asking in the live chat too, Wesley, just some type of details. If you want, if you're comfortable on the phone, you can just call in too and we can chat about it if you're cool with that. It's a lot easier than typing all this stuff out. Driving the 6th, 1.5 hours a day, every day for 6 months. I lived half-hour morning, hour at night with the 15. Wow. That's pretty intense, surviving the 6th. That is really intense. I think you're probably the most intense guy here. I mean, let me read that again. I did 1.5 hours a day, every day for 6 months. Half hour in the morning, half hour at night with the 15, 20-minute reps. That's a lot of sauna. Oh, here it is. Wesley says significant impact on HRV. Awesome. So is that overnight? Like, I guess they're like, do you think it has to do with sleep, or what do you propose in that scenario is the reasoning for the increase in HRV? Yeah, no worries. No pressure to hop on a call. Just like to chat with you, get more details if you had something to share. Truth Fighter says that is very intense, but if you're really healthy and take lots of electrolytes, you could do it. Yeah, those guys are, I mean, they're hydrating like crazy anyway, just to do the training schedule. But a little over an hour now, guys. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any live questions you want to call in for? Now is the time. Probably hang around for 2-3 more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I am one tired man. Been working. Resetting to more parasympathetic state. Yep. This is in Florida. Hopefully this is hello?
Hey, Matt.
I can hear myself in the back. You
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, hey, Matt, this is Carol.
Hi, Carol.
And I already in the chat told you I have a Cedar sauna.
Yeah.
So here, I think you're the only person in the world that can direct me in the right way.
Okay.
Because you have so much knowledge. So here I have it here. It worked. It hasn't worked for about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I had somebody try to repair it.
Mm-hmm.
They did something to it. It didn't work. And then one day I plugged it in and it worked. So I think it's the control panel, as I said in the chat.
Okay.
So if this was yours, what would you do with it?
Get rid of it?
to get rid of it. Okay, so because it's a cedar and they have gone out of business. Okay, so
I mean, I'm only.
I see how you.
Go ahead.
What? Go ahead.
Well, no, I just the only reason
I see how you have created some saunas. You've put lights on them. I wondered whether I could get infrared lights in it,
mm-hmm.
or it would just be better to get a brand new sauna.
Well, yeah, you have a couple of options. I mean, it'll still work if you put if you drill some holes in the ceiling. I actually have a free YouTube video. If you search on YouTube how to add NIR to FIR, there should be a video that will show you how to do it. You could put some bulbs in there, and that will create heat if you want to keep the enclosure that you have. The only reason that I'm saying get rid of it is because the company is out of business. So the next time you have a problem, it's going to be the same drill.
Okay. So here's the question that everybody asks you.
Okay.
If you were to get a sauna, which one would you pick?
That's a hard question to answer without any details. What is important to you? Like what's your top 3 criteria for a sauna? I would say, not knowing you, I would say number 1 is that it doesn't break.
Yeah, it doesn't break.
Okay.
Right. It has good health benefits.
Okay. I
need to get one more.
Well, no, I'm just trying to get a sense of.
Well, it's just such a good all around for health. It just, I just really enjoy it, and it's very beneficial. So I miss it.
I understand. I mean, I like the Radiant Health stuff. If you're looking for a sauna brand recommendation, I've also been Googling while you were talking, and it looks like there is one company that has some type of circuit boards and wiring harness, and looks like they actually have the control panel, and it's called infraredsaunaparts.com. And then
infrared.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you did want to try to repair it, I didn't rule that out.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like
you would.
Well, I mean, Carol,
you're
I'm
not
just being realistic. If it's broken already and you
right.
fix it, I don't know how long. I mean, how much time you're going to get out of it. Yeah.
Right.
But
alrighty.
If these guys have something and it's like a $50 item and you could try it and you get another year or 2 out of it, that's worthwhile too.
Right. Okay. Great, Matt. You've been very helpful. Thank you so much. And I enjoy your channel.
Oh, thanks, Carol. Good talking to you. Have a good evening.
Good talking to you too. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. Let's see. Surviving the 6 gets silly. Marathon folks can be a little silly. Wesley says improve recovery. Most live turned on mental and physical stress. Oh, most live turned on from mental and physical stress. Don't do electrolytes. Eat a lot of green smoothies. Surviving the 6 says. Truth Fighter says, Matt, I know Randy recommends coconut water as an electrolyte drink. Do you ever have good luck with coconut water? I have amazing luck with coconut water. My body loves it. I could drink 1 or 2 of those every single day and I feel phenomenal. I think it's from the potassium. I think it's from the contents. I don't know if it's the actual lubrication from the hydration, but I can mimic the feeling that I get from that with supplements in my water. But I absolutely love coconut water, Truth Provider. I love it. If it wasn't such a hassle to get it all the time in bulk, because you just burn through it so quickly, I would have it all the time. CC says I do an hour a day. Josh says I do 30-minute session, max 3 sessions per week. Good night, Josh. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. CC an hour. That's impressive every single day. Wesley, cheers. Thanks, Wesley. Appreciate the feedback. Have a good one. Every day, 1.5 liters of water. That's probably a lot of water, by the way, Truth Provider, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she was smaller, like smaller framed person. I think that would be more than one. I think that would be more than 1 ounce per pound of body weight. But I could be wrong. Truth Provider, I do 30 minutes cool down for 5, then go back for another 30. Then I shower and rest. I like it. Surviving the 6. I don't like the taste of coconut water, but everything I heard is great stuff. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Do you do a cold shower? Take a warm shower? All right, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Anybody have any other final questions? I'm going to go ahead and hop off. It's after 9 o'clock p.m. my time. I need to start winding down. Getting ready to swing a hammer again tomorrow. So need time for these tired arms to rest. If anybody has any final questions, or if you wanted to cover something, didn't get a chance to, you can always reach out. Go to cleverleverage.com, click on the contact page. Those forms go direct to me. Just give me a day or two to get back to you. And I'll see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Good to see everybody. Thanks, guys. Doug, CC, Truth Provider, all the regulars. I don't know what happened to Chet. Thanks, Wesley and all the endurance guys for the feedback there. It's interesting to chat with you about that. Good to see you, AK. Have a good evening, guys.